Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Rocky Mountaineer Travel Advisor webinar. And I'm going to introduce you to Jeff Caesar, and he is our key account manager with Rocky Mountaineer. And thank you for hosting this webinar today.
Oh, thank you, Karen, for helping me do this. And I appreciate all of you, whether you're watching this live or at another time that works best for you. Thank you so much. Hopefully you see my screen, Journey into Extraordinary, and that's what we're all about. Literally delivering trips of a lifetime close to home. And so I oversee 1000 Mile at a national level, and I really welcome you to reach out to me anytime. I hope you get my e-blast. I send one email a month. I did just send one I think it was a couple days ago, actually. And it definitely comes from me, as I have two daughters, Christina, who is 2, and Sophia, who is 6. And I always share images and some personal side of what's going on in their world. This e-blast not only talks about my family, but has fantastic details on our promos, agent incentives, all these great 1 to 2 minute videos. If you don't get these e-blasts, please, and you want them, please make sure you email me at jcaesar, that's JCAESAR, and actually I'll put in the chat, at rockymountaineer.com, and that way you have my contact information. Make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, that looks good. So if you had a chance to listen to my last webinar, which I did in October 2023, that was a good general overview of Rocky Mountaineer. I'm going to have a lot of new content to share with you today. I will brush over some of that general stuff. I won't go dive into the weeds of details on that. So if you really want to know the ins and outs of our train cars and other bits of information that I may not touch on today, please make sure you reference that last webinar training we did, which is in your training library in the hub, and you'll be able to access that. So let's get into it, shall we? Because there's a lot to share with you today. Rocky Mountaineer is a train and tour operator. We've been doing this now for 34 years. I've been with the company now for 10 years. We are a luxury, fine dining, seamless travel experience. Note, you'll never sleep on board. You stay in hotels every night, because when you're sleeping, you're missing the sights, the scenery, the wildlife, the wilderness, and it'll end up being one of the most expensive naps of your life. We handle everything for you or your clients, and everything meaning hotels from 3-star properties to 5-star properties, so you can work with your client's budget. We handle transfers to and from the train to the hotels and such. We handle tours. The majority of our tours take place when we move you from point A to point B, from point B to point C. So, for example, looking at the map you have on your screen here, you'll notice there's a green dotted line between Jasper, Lake Louise, and Banff. That's the Columbia Icefield Parkway, been voted one of the most scenic highways in the world, riddled with lakes and waterfalls, canyons, glaciers, and tons of wildlife. That is on a train track. The train routes are the solid colors going eastbound or westbound that you see on the maps. So that green dotted line is where we have a lot of touring opportunities. When we get to places like Lake Louise, Banff, and Jasper, we have a minimum of 2 nights, which we'll talk to in a little bit, part of one of our new core principles moving into 2024 and beyond. But because we want you to slow time down and enjoy where you are. And so when we move you from Jasper down to Lake Louise, that's a full day tour, stopping every 10 to 15 minutes at different viewpoints, different waterfalls, glaciers, Ice Explorer, which is the mammoth monster truck that takes on to Athabasca Glacier, where you can go play in the snow. There's a glacial skywalk. Moving from Lake Louise to Banff, we have touring that is taking you to Emerald Lake, to spiral tunnels, to Natural Rock Bridge, to other beautiful lakes and waterfalls. Between Banff and Calgary, we're taking you to Bow Falls, the Hoodoos, which is some unique topography in the mountain ranges outside of Banff. Also, a gondola taking you to the top of Sulphur Mountain. So that's where the majority of our touring takes place, and we handle that for you and your clients. And then you have your second day when you get to certain places. And so say you were taking the tour from Jasper down to Lake Louise. You get to Lake Louise in the evening, and next day wake up, have a full day of leisure to slow time down, enjoy where you are. Because everyone, I know, and I can't paint with a broad stroke, but I would say that most people need those little breaks. They don't need to keep waking up every single day, first thing in the morning, and running out and doing all these active tours. Some people like that, and we can add on tours. But most, we want you to slow time down, enjoy where you are. Perhaps go walk around the beautiful area that you're at, take pictures, do things at your own accord. And so it's a 2-night type of experience. Having that full day of leisure allows you to slow time down. In Canada, we operate from mid-April to mid-October. My personal opinion, start in Vancouver, head eastbound. It's more climatic that way as the hills become mountains, the mountains become glaciers, and the wildlife gets so much more amazing. And fantastic idea here for Canada, adding it as a pre or a post cruise tour. Many are selling Alaska cruises. Alaska's in high demand. Honestly, the Canadian Rockies are in insane high demand. And with that being said, many have done Denali and the Alaska land tours. And if they're coming back to do an Alaska cruise, please bring us up as a fantastic pre or post cruise tour option, as around 40 to 50% of our guests are doing pre and post cruise tours. So very popular to say the least. Finally, before I move on, one great way to spread awareness and build inquiries is using our videos. We have 1 to 2 minute videos on all of our routes, 1 to 2 minute videos on the trains we utilize, 1 to 2 minute videos on the place we're taking you to. You can access these videos on my e-blast that I mentioned earlier. Once again, if you'd like to get a part of my e-blast, email me. My email is in the chat box, and I'll make sure you're a part of that once a month distribution. But those videos are a great way to get people excited and to educate them. So definitely something to take advantage of. Switching down to the US, this route started in 2021 between Denver and Moab, Utah. Moab is home to Arches, Canyonlands, Dead Horse Point, where Thelma and Louise went off the cliff. This operates from mid-April to end of October. So a little different between Canada, mid-October, US, end of October. 2 full days on the train. And what I highly recommend is that if you're ever able to experience something, you can sell it so much better. I hope you're all aware that we have some incredible agent discount rates for our US route. We have a discount rate for our Canadian Rockies, but that's around 20 to 25% off for yourself and a +1 guest. For the US Rockies, the only prerequisite to take advantage of this amazing discount that I'm about to share with you is to have TRACKS, TRACKS, TRACKS. That's our online learning modules completed. Takes around 90 minutes to complete. So not talking days, 90 minutes. Once you have that done, you can go anytime between mid-April, end of October this year, or mid-April, end of October in 2025. This year, the rate is $399 for yourself and the same cost for a +1 guest. For 2025, it is $419 for yourself and $419 for a +1 guest, $20 difference. And what I would recommend doing if you were looking at this as an option, flying to Salt Lake City, big airport, lots of economical options. There's a $75 motor coach transfer to take you from Salt Lake City down to Moab. If you haven't been to Moab, there's a lot to see and do. The hotel I'd recommend staying there is the Hoodoos. It's a fantastic location. It's a nice hotel in all of Moab. It's operated by Hilton. It was refurbished in 2019 and 2020. So relatively new carpeting, new bedding, everything. If you haven't been to Moab, like I said, stay at least 2 nights, do some sightseeing. And then you jump on the train at 2 p.m. and you head eastbound. The other direction, if you were to board the train and go westbound, say you're going from Glenwood Springs to Moab, you board the train at around 7 in the morning, you have breakfast on board, you arrive in Moab at around 12 noon. When you board the train at 2 p.m. and head eastbound, you have dinner on board, you arrive in Glenwood Springs between 6 and 7. I personally like sleep a lot because I don't get it because I have a 2-year-old. And I think the dinner is better than the breakfast on board the train because I've done both. So if you were asking me, go eastbound, head over to Denver, fly home. And so this is a minimum of 3 nights. What most people do is 4 nights with that extra night in Moab. And then you'll be able to sell the heck out of it. Now, later in the presentation, I will share with you some of our most popular routes or itineraries, so you'll be able to see exactly how we put it together. Because in the description, I want to share with you what's new in the 2025 and beyond seasons. Our focus and growth as a company is going to be in the US. In Q3 or Q4 of this year, Rocky Mountaineer will be announcing a brand new rail route and a new rebranding of our train in the US. It will no longer be called Silverleaf, which I'll talk to in just a second. It's a type of train car we utilize. It'll be a new name, and I unfortunately cannot share with you what that name is. However, what I can share is that we will have a train route going between Vegas and Moab. Know that there is no passenger carrying trains going in and out of Vegas. Amtrak stopped that like 20 years ago. So we're going to be back there operating, and it's going to be fantastic to be able to provide that type of experience throughout the Southwest. Our goal for the next several years is to have our train connect to many Southwest national parks as well as Napa Wine Valley. So a lot of opportunity here. And I know that once you experience it, you can sell it so much better. 2025 is going to be a game changer. We do have a great route that is selling very strong on the US route. And once again, I will share with you what that is later in the presentation. Now, talking about what's new for 2024, we're focusing on three core principles. I keep glancing over here because my screen is over here. So understand I'm not ignoring you or trying to look at something else, but most popular packages, highest guest experience, and smart inventory management are our three core principles. We have numbered it down to 7 packages. When I started in 2014 with Rocky Mountaineer, I think we had like 52 or 55 packages, down to 7. Pricing now includes gratuity, so none of that awkward conversation with your clients like, well, no, gratuity isn't included, and you feel free to tip if you like or not, and none of that at the end, like, oh, should I give them money? Should I not? Everything's included, so don't have to worry about that. Also, transfers to and from the train are all included, even including rail-only experience. All packages have a minimum of 2 nights because we had so many people try doing one night. They check in the evening, check out first thing in the morning, and they regret rushing through this beautiful part of the world. So slowing time down, having that minimum of 2 nights before or after the train journey is something that has really been quite strong. We have all hotel packages. Oh, sorry, all packages include a 1-night hotel in a major city, as well as we got rid of the Roman numeral thing. I didn't understand it myself, so I'm happy for that. And finally, we have a hotel tiering system. So here is our hotel tiering system. 5 being the cheapest of the cheap, starting at around 3-star property. And tier 1, something new that we've never been able to work with before. Fairmont now has been able to provide hotel block space on their gold level, their gold rooms. Gold level is a more I would say it's a floor usually, or a couple floors, depending the Fairmont property, that offers free breakfast, more amenities, nicer views, bigger staterooms. It's just the best of the best. So tier 1, all the way to tier 5. It's very easy to understand kind of how the whole approach is, and so I think this is great to share with all of you. Is tier 5 being the most economical, all the way to tier 1 being stupid expensive. And then we have add-ons for 2024. We do have a limited number of add-ons, and I did kind of talk to that where we do the majority of our tours as we move you from point A to point B. Maybe you have clients that want to do something every single day. We do have trusted tour operators that definitely are able to add on tours, especially ones that perhaps aren't run by Rocky Mountaineer. For example, in Moab, we do have tours with motor coaches and tour guides taking you to the national parks, but perhaps you have a family or adults who want to do something more unique, more adventurous, like a whitewater rafting down the mighty Colorado River, or a Jeep safari over the cliffs and canyons in the national parks. Moab Adventure Center is our preferred tour operator in downtown Moab. We have a link and all details on our website to take you over to that, so you can add on active, unique, experiences and such. Also get commission on those. So just sharing with you, that's also all available and now being shared with all of our travel partners, all of you. When it comes to groups, this is the perfect time to start discussing groups for 2025. If you're looking to do a group in 2024, I'm sorry you missed it because it should be done a year ago. So 2025, we've just launched and secured a ton of hotel space, and I want to kind of talk to you how groups work with Rocky Mountaineer. You have your steps of choosing your rail route, choosing the service, and we'll talk about service in a sec. If you don't know anything about us, I will touch on service in a bit. Choosing the season that you travel in, and then the date that you like. We have several group options from rail only, a guaranteed group departure, and a buyout or a full charter. Our rail only is exactly what it sounds like. Just the train. We also handle the hotel in between. You can handle the outside peripherals really well, where the Denver and Moab, or up in Canada, Vancouver, Banff, or Vancouver and Lake Louise, or Vancouver and Jasper. And this would be quite economical because as a rail only package, we're taking all the third parties out of it. You're working directly with the people who own everything, Rocky Mountaineer. And yeah, you can pretty much customize something and do something quite unique for your guests. When it comes to guaranteed group departures, First, a group with us for 2025 is 20 paid guests, and the 21st person is a TC or tour conductor, a free seat, and that's free to everything. I didn't mention this before because I was kind of running through all these different things in my mind. When it comes to Rocky Mountaineer, we handle everything except airfare, trip insurance, and some meals off the train. So Rocky Mountaineer does not involve ourselves with airfare. We also don't have any trip insurance. I think we have a partner with Allianz, but honestly, I'm not educated in the insurance side of things. So I recommend do what's best for your clients. You probably know a lot more than I do. And then some meals off the train. There are some tours that have built-in meals. There are some hotels that have free breakfasts. So some meals may be additional, but everything else, especially on the train, is all inclusive, including fine dining. So 20 people to make a group. The 21st person is a TC. You have no deposits due until 150 days prior to departure. That's a huge plus. So there's no risk on your end to block a group, even if it's speculative, and try to sell it for almost a whole year. No risk whatsoever, no deposit due, nothing. We will never take the space back from you. Well, I can't say never, because if like COVID happens again, then yeah, we're taking the space back. Other than like something crazy like COVID, which I don't foresee happening, and I hope it never happens again, we never take the space. And another big benefit with a group, as long as you can hit the minimum of 20 guests, the 21st person's free, we provide private transfers. So private tours, private guides, private motor coach. That's huge. So let's say, for example, you're selling the whole season, you only get 10 people, 5 rooms. You would lose the TC because it didn't meet that threshold, and you would lose the private transfer. Everyone would be part of the mass transfers with other folks. Your group is still traveling together. They're all sitting around each other. They're in the same hotels, the same tours. Everything you promised them, including price point, is the same. There is no price difference between FIT and group. So the advantages of a group is being able to secure an itinerary and focus that itinerary. And so here you have a guaranteed group departure, meaning it is secure space. They built around 150 of these for 2025. So these are also going on pretty much first come, first serve. So if you're interested in a group, I ask you to email me, and we can have a separate conversation about direction you want to go, time of the year, hotels, all that kind of stuff. I will be able to share with you some of the dates that we have available, and hopefully something works out for you and a price point, everything. You secure it, it's yours, and you're able to sell it. And that is our guaranteed group departures, which is quite nice. Then I ask you to keep me involved. We have sales development managers located all around the country. They're there to help you on a local level. So if you want to do an in-person event and push Rocky Mountaineer and focus on this itinerary, get them involved. They'd be more than happy to set that up with you. If you want to do a virtual event, either depending on your location, I may be able to be there in person. I can be anywhere virtually. So I can do a virtual event, have it recorded, and my personal presentations when it comes to a group, I like to go day by day in chronological order, talking about the hotels, talking about the tours, get down to the details. So definitely something you can take advantage with me on. And if it was going to be another idea, would be a pre-recorded presentation. Many people are zoomed out. But if you are able to take a 20 to 25-minute presentation on a group that you're pushing and send that via email, put it on social media, or share with folks who later in the year think, hey, I'm interested in Rocky Mountaineer, can you share some details? You can share that quick presentation. It will probably get them quite excited, and that helps materialize the space. So use me, use the team that I'm a part of, and we will do whatever we can to support you all and help materialize this group space. Just to quickly brush over the service levels, Silverleaf is predominantly used in the US. This will be rebranded later in 2024, but it's a single-story car, panoramic views with an arch window at the top, small outdoor vestibule area you can access anytime while you're on board the train, and you have hosts on board handling storytelling, telling jokes, keep you entertained. Everything on board is all-inclusive, including alcohol and non-alcoholic, and you eat your food at your seat. Silverleaf Plus is an upgraded experience for the US route only. It's $3.99 to $4.99 per person, depending the time of year and everything. And what you get is you have 2 different lounge cars that are added to your Silverleaf car. So a total of 3 train cars to access while on board. These are outfitted with tons of extra seating, bars with bartenders crafting signature alcoholic beverages. You have more variety of food options, more outdoor veranda spaces to access. You have a piano with a pianist. I don't know why, but we have that. It's it just enhances your experience so much. Now, you as an advisor, if you would like to experience the Silverleaf Plus, we offer this to you. In fact, usually it's at no additional cost. The only disclaimer is that the Silverleaf Plus and everything for the package has to be booked within 60 days of your departure. You can't book the Silverleaf car for October and the Silverleaf Plus for that same date. You have to wait until you can book Silverleaf now. You can book it for 2025 if you want. But if you want the Silverleaf Plus, you have to book everything within 60 days prior to your departure. If they say it's sold out, then let the train manager and hosts on board the train know that you're a travel advisor, and they will take you through the lounge car so you can see pictures and video, and you can see what it's like. You can't stay there, but you're able to at least get a good idea of what it is like for your guests to take advantage of. So a really fantastic add-on. Gold Leaf is only offered in the Canadian Rockies, 2-story bi-level coach dome. We wish we could bring these down to the US, but unfortunately, there are tunnels that don't allow the height of our Gold Leaf car. So quick question from Elise was, is Silverleaf Plus included in TA rate? Yes, it is. So pending inventory, you call 60 days prior to departure. We would not add on additional costs for that. That would be totally part of the $399 rate for yourself and the $399 for a plus one guest. Gold Leaf, you eat on the bottom of the train car. That's where those picture windows are. So instead of eating at your seat, a lot more variety of food options. Here, it is definitely fine dining. Food cooked, made to order a few feet away from where you're sitting. My favorite place on the train car is the outdoor veranda space. Holds around 15 to 20 people comfortably, quite large. And, we're going to get you from point A to point B, but it's not about the speed. Our average train speed is only 30 miles an hour. We slow down to less than 5 miles an hour for the bridges, the waterfalls, the wildlife, the wilderness. You're not missing anything along the way. You can see here wildlife, and this is from my own video. It's not that great, but that is not a polar bear. It's an albino black bear or a Kermode bear. They also call it the spirit bear. There's about 300 of them in existence in this area. Very rare. Hanging out with a grizzly bear, which is also extremely rare. That was about 20, 25 feet from the train. We're going about 5 miles an hour. Something you'll notice is that on the train tracks, there's no barriers or fences or stuff keeping the animals from going on the tracks. And some of the trains carry produce, grain, wheat, and barley, and that falls all the time. So the animals, especially bears, think it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner time. And all they do is go to the train tracks. So we get a lot of wildlife, especially around the Canadian Rockies, right next to the train tracks. And unlike the highways and cars, where we do have barriers and fences, they keep the animals far away from the roads. We want the animals up close and personal. So it's like a train safari. Definitely something to take advantage of. Sharing with you our most popular package. We have the 7-night, 2-night Lake Louise, 2-night Banff. It's great, but I personally consider it a highlight experience. This pricing is per person from, it's not what it is all the season long. It's from pricing. So from meaning probably first trip in mid-April or the last trip in October is where this pricing is. And Silverleaf meaning 3 and 4-star properties, Gold Leaf meaning 5-star properties. If you were to add 2 nights, then you get the full experience of the Canadian Rockies, the full Columbia Icefield Parkway, Jasper's Bear Country. There are thousands of bears around Jasper. This would be my pick if you were able to do 9 nights. But if you're able to add more nights and you have someone who's a train lover, the one on the bottom left, 12 nights, 13 days, just under 8,000 per person from pricing. It's 7 nights in the Canadian Rockies, 5 days on the train. This is the best of the best. And I think that is an ultimate experience, and it sells out every single year. Switching to the US, we have the eastbound or westbound between Denver and Moab. We have the motor coach between Salt Lake City and Moab. This pricing is all per couple. The most popular route that we're selling right now is Vegas to Denver with an overnight in Bryce. Please note that next year, once again, we'll be probably changing this quite a bit. But here, unlike Canada, where you have Fairmonts, Rimrock, Four Seasons, Sutton Place, Moab doesn't have any 5-star hotels. There's only one hotel in Bryce, and that's a Best Western Plus. which is better than a minus, but the plus doesn't add much. So the wow factor that you should share with your clients is the national parks. It's Bryce, it's Zion, it's Arches, it's Canyonlands, it's Capitol Reef National Park, it's Monument Valley, and so forth. This is a great route, and it's a fantastic price point too. Promotions. We have a brand new promo that is going till the end of February. It will not be extended as it just was extended. $750 per couple on select Canadian Rocky routes, $1,000 per couple off on US routes. And so this goes to the end of February. We also offer a loyalty program. So for any clients of yours who have been with Rocky Mountaineer before and are coming back, this can be combined with an in-market promo, $390 discount per couple for Canadian Rockies, or $400 per couple discount for US Rockies. Once again, that can be combined with an in-market promo to make it a very rich offer. It's a nice little way of saying thank you for coming back. Maybe you've heard of sites like TripAdvisor, a place where people spew hate and anger and negative feedback. Note that we've been on there since TripAdvisor's been around. They maintain, well, it's a 0.0 to 5.0 scale, 5 being the best of the best. We have maintained a 4.5 or higher every single season. We have more awards and accolades than the Orient Express. National Geographic has given us best train trip to take. All this means to you is peace of mind. Whether you travel with us this year, next year, many years from now, know that we know what it makes a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be expanding and growing a lot in the U.S. I welcome you to reach out to other fellow advisors within your host and ask if they have clients who've been with Rocky Mountaineer and get testimonials and references. Come to me anytime you ever need anything. I'm here to support you and be utilized in any way I can. I think the best thing that you can do is definitely set yourself up for constant communication. It's only one email a month, so please make sure you're on my distribution list, as I only send it once a month. And what else I want to share? I know that was a lot of information, and I did it in 27 minutes. So there's no such thing as a bad question. And I would love Karen to come back on. I'm seeing what she sees. There probably isn't any other questions to be asked, but you can unmute yourself. You can ask something else. If your mic doesn't work, I'm an open book, and I'll be very candid and transparent, as I always am.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jeff. I don't see any questions from anybody. Does anybody have questions before we call it we're going to adjourn this meeting? I guess not. I guess you covered all your bases.
I try. You can see I've done this before, and I have
Yeah.
fun with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. Um,
Oh, here's
Perla.
someone. Perla,
Yeah.
I've emailed you several times to get emails. Perla, I've never got an email from you. So are you making sure you use, can you click on the email above, the jcaesar@rockymountaineer.com? I will. Did you email me now? Let's see here. Nope, I don't have any emails from you. I got one from Jenny. Uh, but no. So that's weird. And huh. If you have, oh, let's see here. Thank you. Great information. You're so welcome. So Perla, um, if you can, I'm gonna share my phone number. Don't mind if you, oh, I didn't share it. Hold on, let me do this again. 561-568. Oh, come on. 81799. At the end of this, I have 30 minutes until my next virtual presentation at 5 o'clock. If you can call me, I will try to work through this on your end to try to get an email. I don't know why it's not working, but oh, you just sent me another email. Let's see. I haven't got it yet. But if it doesn't go through, please call me, because I have another way of working this out. I might even give my personal email to see what's going on, if it's something on your end or my end. I didn't get an email from you though. So
Hmm.
call me and we'll get it figured out.
Sounds good. Sometimes those things go to spam. So,
I'm
all
thinking it
right.
must be. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much. And we will see you soon.
I look forward to it. Wishing you all the best. Travel safe, everyone. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.